What's the date today? 23rd. Hello, today is October 23rd, and this is the University of Minnesota karate training class on a Friday. And the class is being recorded for asynchronous training. We have the participants in class. We have 2 or 3 people on Zoom so far. So please train along. I know. Going up and down with which leg is sometimes hard to remember, and one way to remember is if you were putting something in your feet and you stood up like this, it would fall out. So stand up like this. The other reason is you have a sword here, and you want to draw it, and this angles your sword funny. So they wanted to clear. But this was the one they told me first, and it just always makes sense to me. You stick something in there. So going up or coming down, you know, okay, well good, I got my stuff. Hopefully you're not carrying my stuff. If you did. And spread around, or stay where you are. Pick up one foot, go around, pose, switch, right? Other foot, other way. Together around your knees. Other way. Switch. Feet apart. Round of ribs. Other way. Use your leg. Pump your arms around. Switch. Cross, twist, we're going to warm up with an exercise that actually do a lot. The goal is to get your blood moving so that you can stretch and move, get your endurance up because it's kind of tiring, and get the ability to move your feet wherever you want, whether you're punching or blocking. So can you take 2 giant steps upwards, and you take 2 giant steps, and move over that way. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay? Let's see. Put your hands and feet together, jumping jacks first. Good. 1, 2. So. Cross your feet. Front and back. Just 2 legs. Everybody move this way. That way. Everybody move this way. Keep up and learn.
I don't want to get in the way.
I know you have to. Now move that way. I'll move this way. Okay, now put your left leg in front, left arm in front. You're going to switch your feet, inside block, and move away towards that wall. 1. Now you're going to switch your feet outside block and move towards that wall. So you're always pushing the technique away from you and moving the opposite way. Got that picture?
Attention rectal members, a few reminders. Please wear a mask covering both your nose and face at all times. Wipe down equipment before and after use, and keep 6 feet apart from each other. Thank you.
Right hand up. Outside block, switch your feet. Inside block, switch your feet. Switch, switch, switch. Soft wrists. Okay, it's supposed to be coordinated. Do not look coordinated. Your feet move, your hands move. This matches, this matches, this matches. It's not that. Might be an interesting drill in itself, but for right now you're matching your hands and feet. We're going to try to go this way. Put your right leg in front, right arm up. That's on your right leg. You're going to move this way. Inside block with that hand. 1. Outside block and move 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Move it. 1, 2. All right, let's go. Anyway, so there's way more to this drill, but mostly it's just moving and doing something at the same time. Beautifully asking about COVID. Let's try this. Put your left leg forward, your right arm out. You're going to switch your feet and block this way. 1. Then counter punch. 2. Okay, so don't get too freaked out. This hand is going to block and then you punch. This hand is going to block and then you punch. That's all it is. You're not going anywhere. Okay? Switch your feet, block with your right hand. 1. Counter punch 2. 1. Counter punch 2. You're going to switch your feet. Every time you switch your feet. Everybody put your left leg in front. Lauren's the only one that can. Good job, Lauren. Switch your feet and block. 1, 2. Switch your feet and block. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now 1 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you're going to switch your feet and punch this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. God. 8, 8, 1, 8, 0, 0, each, arch, 8, 8, Alright, shake out your legs. Squat. All the way down. Put your hands on the floor. Straighten your legs. Down. Straighten. Down. Straighten. Down. Straighten. And down. Keep it up. Stretching down the floor. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back with your one shoulder. Switch. Side. Switch. Around. Switch. And stop. Pivot and turn towards this mirror. Switch. Away. Switch. Switching deeper. Switch. Switching deeper. Switch. Ball your foot. exercise that is very good for people who are not flexible, because often they are very strong, so the flexibility is a strain, and people who are very flexible, because often they are not strong, so they get support while we do push-ups. Leave this foot here, put your hands here, and straighten your body out from your shoulder to your heel. Then drop your whole body down to the ground and come back up. 1, down, up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up, other way. Follow your foot, drop your head. Up. Open your arms. Twist. Over your left shoulder. Touch your head to the floor with your front foot. Same thing on the side. Hands on the floor. Your body. All the way down and back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And underneath, right? Switch. 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 And switch. Stay on the side. Rotate all the way over. Switch the outside of the thigh. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. Switch. All the way over. Stretch the outside of the thigh. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. Pull your feet in squatting. Feet out behind you. Pushing back. Touch your hips to the floor. Forward. Feet in. Straighten your legs and jump down. Roll up. Round your hip. Switch. Side, side. Squeeze one knee up into your chest. Switch. 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 And switch. Switch around behind. You grab an ankle. Switch. Switch. And switch. Check the legs. Turn. Straight uniform. There's a sign, you know, on the internet sometimes they have something translated, not so good. This one said, all women with long hair must be tied. And your hair was, but we're not going to. one kata. So in between, you stand up into second position, now it's the kata and start the next one. There's no bowing in the middle, just that what you're doing at the end. This is what Funakoshi said. There's 5 kata taught as one kata taught in 5 parts, and the son Nakayama said to do with it. So that's Funakoshi. And Nakayama was the senior instructor that took over and kind of founded the JPA, the Japanese Karate Association. He was huge in spreading karate around the world. He was here several times in the 70s and 80s. He died. Anyway, feet together, now, and shut up. And shut up. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey, and knee up. And knee up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Hands up. Hands up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Very good. Yeah, I know that. And the other. Each. Each. When you start, hand yo nine. Your hands have to stay the same distance apart. You have a and still took a way big swing up. Oh, come on. Better. You. Better. Try to be aware. Any questions on the first right hand, Kata? Great. Now we do 3 Tekki Kata in a row. Out. Tekki Shotokan. Tekki Shotokan. Wide. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey. You bark. Tekki Nida. Tekki Nida. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out. Tekki Sanda. Tekki Sanda. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Iris. Yay. Now we will do a basic kata and then the complementary kata, or the primary kata and then the complementary. So, Bassai. Take 2 steps forward, please. Those are pretty small steps. Thank you. Out. Bassai. Bassai. Forward. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3. Other foot, elevate. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Everybody turn and watch you Kanku Bassai. Out. Kata. Out. Anytime. Right up. So, it's super hard when you're put on the spot and you don't know when you have to go. But it turns out sometimes you get attacked and it's just you don't know that you just have to perform. So the stress is good for you. Okay? Sometimes when you perform, you are a little more subtle and a little more metered. So for this particular thing, I would say try to finish each action before. And an example is your side thrust. It's pretty light for a DI spot, and this is just barely lighter than you go. So I'd rather have you see you finish this, and then go on to your next one after that one. You kind of hit and go. Not that the tempo would be bad, but you're not finishing the motion. It's similar here. You didn't hit the and then go. So take more time to finish each action. And it's kind of cool, the pressure will go from technique to technique to technique. Okay, back. Bassai show. Follow along the best you can. Lauren, move up a lot. John, move back there somewhere. Here we go. Bassai show. Bassai show. Shoulder. Boy. One. Two. Three. One. Ridge hand. Fist. Two. Your right hand's going to block, your right foot sweeps, and then you do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you do 3 sweep things. 1, catch, hit. 2, catch, hit. 3, catch. 1. Sorry, this is too long. Be here. Look over your left shoulder and block with the right hand this way. 1. Then do a big circle with this hand. 2. Now block with your left hand. 1, 2. 5. First. Perfect. So finally done. There's lots of theory that this is descended from a bow kata, because you spend a lot of time doing this and doing that. And I even worked out the whole series. John, can you do Bassai? I don't know. So, assuming it's descended from a bow kata, and pretend this is a bigger bow. It goes like this. It goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. First. So, I worked all that out. Then I figured out I was wrong. It's not descended from a bow kata. If you look at where the kata came from, all of these used to be Okinawan back stances. So then, the whole idea is somebody takes a swing at you, smack with the groin, catch your arm, that kind of thing. Hit them. Lots of throws. The bow idea helps give you an image, though. Just not particularly practical if someone's trying to hit you with a stick. I was once doing a demonstration and we were practicing. And in the demonstration, the guy had to swing the bow, and I was going to jump into a side thrust and land and get him off. And he was swinging that sucker pretty low, too. But he got really excited. And he went, whoa! And he broke my foot. Because I had not hit off the ground. And so I needed crutches and walk like this for 6 or 8 weeks. And one thing that pointed out to me is if that's what happens by accident, what happens when you actually try to hit the guy? It's a way bigger deal. So lots of times defense against weapons is so orchestrated that it becomes almost useless unless you have a very compliant attacker attacking exactly what you tell them. And that's not just in karate, it's in many different art forms where they claim to do defense against weapons. It's much harder than it seems sometimes, and their methodology is usually flawed. Somebody's going to attack like this. Or, why would they stop? Why wouldn't they slice, stab? So, I get you got to start somewhere. I'm just saying don't always take things at face value. Even just the idea that you're going to block a bow. Nishiyama does this all the time. You just block with this hand. Yep. Won't break your arm. Right? Don't do that. Or if it's a sword, cuts your arm. So then they said you have to block and try to hit my hand. Maybe. But then even if you do block, whoop, switch. He used to do it all the time. You have some poor guy up there demonstrating. Oh, switch! And he'd come around and hit with the other side. Yeah, that's great. Anyway, thank you. Back there, Lord, step up. Kanku da. Up. That. Good. Boy. Right thumb over left thumb. These two fingers over. So that's nail over that hand. Some styles do it different. Ours is very specific. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter. Ah! When the hole gets home with your right edge. 1, 2, just like Bassai. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now this whole next section is like in on me now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now it's like Hannah going down a little bit. 1, kick and turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Side step, elbow strike. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4 left hand blocks like hands around. 1, 2, 1, 2, back to hand going down. 1, now go in. 2, 3, step back. 1, 2, 3, catch this way. We're going to do this. Back here. 1, and fall. Then stay low and turn. Do that. 1, 2. Inside block counter punch. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Side stand. 1, 2. A little bit like hand sign. 1. Behind the neck. 2. Drop this to the vertical fist down. 3. Home. 1, 2, 3. Big giant turn. 1, 2, 3. 1. Double flying front kick of death. 1. Grab it. 5. Good job. Does anybody want to do Kanku by themselves? Okay, then. Kanku show. How's our squad back there? You guys following along okay? Okay, it'll be slower in the next hour. This one's, because some people leave early. So, here we go. Up, up, out, up, away. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up closer. Under. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, empty jump, 3, side snap, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reach behind you, 1, person get, halo, switch your lower end of the foot, now jump and switch your feet, 1, 2, inside block 7 punch, 1, 2, 1, halo, 5, Does anybody want to do Kanku by themselves? Where are you adventurous people? Well, we're not there yet. All right, so the hard part is what to do next. think that we'll do the other show and die katas next. So, we did Bassai show and Kanku show, Bassai die, Kanku die, and Bassai show and Kanku show. Gojushiho show and die. Are there more? Or are those only three? Gion and Jean and Jute we can do together. Because you remember the story I told you that there used to be one big kata from the system and they got cut up into 3 parts. Nobody took notes. It's not in your brain. It's from the Gion temple. All right. Gojushiho show. The one that's like this. So do the best you can. Super long kata. But if you learn the pattern, when we do Gojushiho die, it's the same pattern. So that's so exciting. It's just a little different. Out. Gojushiho show. Gojushiho show. Ah. Iru. Three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step backwards in line. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. You're going to need room to cross over. You're going to keep it out. 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Here we go. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're right, sorry. I did it wrong. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. Cross-legged head. 1. Head. First. So the problem is, there is a Gojushiho show and a Gojushiho die. And at one point they were the same kata. And it's just a Gojushiho. And in the Gojushiho, most of the same techniques that are in our 2 kata are all stuck in there. It is very confusing to somebody who learned it different. But for this specific part here, 1, 2, 3, the other one goes 1, 2, 3. And I think the mixture of the 2 is what makes it work. So if John was attacking me by coming forward to grab or something, and I went to 1 and hit him, I'd pull him in and headbutt him. Boom. Then I grab here, not comfortable, right? Then he turns, boom, and that's a throw. Boom. And so it's not show or die, it's both. It's parts. And I came up with that before MMA was a thing. And now, if you watch MMA, if somebody's doing a bear hug, the guy wraps his arm around, throws his leg like this to protect his groin and inner thigh. And you'll see this throw. Boom. So it's kind of cool when someone shows up like, hey, I know that. But it also gave credibility to the idea that this was a worthwhile thing to do. Because I questioned it. This is a great thing to do. Whoa! And what they tell you it is somebody's got a bear hug from behind, and you're going to do this to them. And hang on tight. This does not work worth crap. You can do a lot of it. But I think the oral tradition of working against a bear hug, he's coming in, he was here, not here. And then they didn't know about the headbutt part. Whoa! And then this loosens him up. Look, he's weak. I'm strong. Whoa. So, someday, when we can touch each other again, we'll practice stuff like that. Thanks. Shotokan. Same pattern, so this one we get just like that. Out. Get that. Over Shotokan. Boy. See if you got the same person. One. Now it's different. Two. Three. One. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step in. 1, 2, 3. 1. Cat steps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Do this way. 1, 2, kick and punch. 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 80. 1. So there are two things of interest that I thought about as we were going through this that I thought I would tell you. This finger thing shows up in a couple kata, mostly this one in Unsu. In Unsu, you can draw your guns. Bang! But I once foolishly said, what are you going to do to somebody's body with this? This is so stupid. And this guy, wait for a second, he said, oh, it works really good. This was his kata that he'd been doing for like 20 years. He came over and his finger is covered with a callus because he hits the makuwara board with it. He said, this is very effective. Oh yeah, I can see that. So, don't question somebody's kata unless it's very respectfully. But in our system, the way the shaman taught everything, is your body has to do everything. Whack! Your body's got to be behind it. But it turns out there's only so much your finger's going to take, right? I mean, if you're really doing a finger strike, too much body doesn't do you any good. And one of the instructors that we have said in Okinawa, well, first of all, there was a tournament. And in the tournament, one of this guy's students was going 1-2 with no body motion. And one of the judges came over, she's not even doing, he was so upset. And he said, you know what? In Okinawa, if you poke somebody in the eye, you just poke them in the eye. There's no shaking, there's no stance, you just go, bleh. You got a point. People cannot brace their eyes. So, I think both are good. I mean, try to be aware of always having a body motion in what you do, but be aware of overkill too. There's not, on a little, what good does it do you? Some of these things that look silly can be very effective. I don't want to tell you now. Actually, John, here for a second, sorry. So some of these, let's think about this. How many years did you get up? I've got this hand that I picked off my lapel, and I'm doing this. See, it's very painful. This holds this so it doesn't go anywhere. That makes it worse. And you snap it. Snap! And it snaps his wrist. That's very effective, but it looks silly without a person there. You're like, well, why? But that just looks silly. And I also, somebody asked me once, what's that for? And I said, oh, so this was the story. One instructor that came, very highly ranked, used to tell us this. And you can do this every day for 20 years. I don't know if that's going to help you. Plus, why would you punch there? And if you did, why would I step up here to hit it? If you change the distance to here, where it's trying to hit you, and I'm going to step forward, put this here, and he drops down to the ground, it's your brachial plexus. You can push it on yourself. Here's your collarbone. Reach around behind it with your fingers and push in towards the middle. Right there.
There's a system for solving that type of problem.
So, good job. It is, this is a vulnerability. There's a collection of nerves. This, and this, and this, and this, and this pathway along here. This whole area is a target-rich environment, but you still have to be kind of exact. If you hit it in the wrong place or hit it in the wrong direction, it doesn't have the effect that you wanted it to. But this is like, if you don't know what to do and you chop here, there's a good chance you're going to hit something by accident. So what I was going to say is this is effective on like 90% of the people, but you don't know who it's going to be effective on. We were at a camp where we were working on these pressure points, and people were like dropping to their knees from somebody touching them, and this little 12-year-old girl was like, I don't feel it, I don't feel it. And so everybody would come over and push, doesn't react. So that nerve for her was protected or was in a slightly different spot. Not everybody responds to the same thing. So, interesting. I say we do Geo, Gene, and Gite, and then you can go. You gotta go right in a second. All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Are you staying? All right. Let's take our break. It is 7. 5-minute break. Get some water. Come on back. 5-minute break. Sure.
Shifting part.
Okay.
Is the key.
What do you want to know?
Just a little bit of that, just to get used. Still struggling a little bit.
Okay. So shifting is a really cool field of study. It's mostly useful for kunite, but sometimes in self-defense. And the way Nishiyama wanted us to do body shifting or taisabaki was an extension of your body center reaching, so that it starts to become just part of everything you do. So it was kind of cool, but we will work on some ideas and we'll try that. We started some stuff before. So, line up sort of, that's good enough. You can stay wherever you want. There you go, Chris. And we are going to move this way, all left leg forward, fighting stance. Keep your heels slightly off the ground, since they used to say 1 paper distance. We're just going to shift forward and backwards and switch our feet, and then we'll talk about what to do. So when you shift here, you want to keep your body straight up and down, move through your center, and it's kind of like you stretch. 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stay down. And don't have that foot backwards, point forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Backwards, your back foot's going to reach and then pull your front foot with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to start with your heel up a little bit more because every time you move, you break just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and switch your feet. So you two are both going to have to learn this is a harder thing, maybe especially for you because you used to do something different. But keep your back foot like it was supposed to be here. Don't let it do this. It limits your ability to move. Now, these are general rules because I'm trying to teach you to do something. After you gain a certain level of skill, you can start to change stuff to your own personal movement or system. So, for instance, since in Shama, arms up, elbows in, head up, kind of some inner thigh tension, always moving around. And there are people who used to fight like this that were really good. They just didn't want you to know they were really good. They wanted you to think, here's this giant target to hit. Whoa, and they move like lightning. Now, he didn't like that because he didn't like, he thought it lacked spirit, the spirit of maybe dignity. It lacked some dignity because you're playing a game instead of facing it with the true samurai spirit. Although the only part I disagree with is I think you should have respect for your partner, and I think you should behave respectfully. But if you use tactics that make you look open, that's fine. Until the day you misjudge how quick and how fast that person can move, then it's too late. So that was part of his complaint too, is don't get too cocky because there's always somebody that'll catch you. Anyway, your right leg's in front. Now your left foot going forward, like you're counter punching, even though your hips are sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey. So this drill is going to point out some flaws. The two things I see the most of moving forward, you have a hop in you almost no matter what you try to do. I'm going to stay down, and then you don't. Or you start, and then you pop up at the end. So please try your best to stay down and stay level. Up is depth, don't come up. You have space inside when you move forward. So I want you to go, whoa, and you go, just a little, not as bad as I did, but it's in there, enough that you can't move in the middle. So a lot of this whole theory is always being in control. Always, 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 always. So I think I'm going to attack with a step and punch. Here I come, and halfway through he hits me. I want to be so together that halfway through I can switch because I'm still together. I kick and I try to escape. Whoa, and he hits me. I kick and I, 1, 2, you'd still be together. And I know this is possible. And I have done it. I have screwed it up and I've caught. Then you can see where I made a mistake. I should have been more together. So this particular drill, you can be relatively short so you don't strain your inner thighs. Short, like not so deep, maybe a half a stance. You're going to start, let's see here. You are going to start by making pressure down underneath your butt cheek and your heel up this way. Okay, so this is down, up. You're going to take this and push it forward like a plunger. This way, 1. Then you're going to drop this, and this comes underneath, 2. Like there's a string, 2, plunge your butt forward. Then you push down, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, all right, I was going to say good news, you all suck, but that's not true. You all still have things to work on, and it turns out they're kind of different things. So, as much as possible, think about this as being your center, and your center is going to push through your thigh to your foot. Push. When you move, there's a time when there's no center pushing, and then you try to get it back. So be aware, this is too big. It disrupts you. In this case, for learning, leaning backwards a little bit will help keep this pressure on here. So I don't want you to lean back forever, but just as you're trying to learn how these two parts relate, this sometimes can help. Because it keeps your head out of the equation instead of this. Wow, this is back here. So try that a little bit. Left leg in front again. You got your back foot flat, front foot up, pushing forward. You're going to push down like a plunger. Maybe don't go so far. Just a little bit down. 1. I've got to say no. 2. Okay, so on 2 there's no backwards. So you don't, in this drill, go forwards and then backwards and then forwards and then backwards. You go forward, 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 forward. You're just switching legs. There's no backwards. Try again. 1. That was much better. 2. Maybe a little shorter, like 2 inches shorter. 1. That was a better try. Try it back. Elbows in. 2. 1. That was good, but after your foot hit, you came up. 2. That was a really good switch. 1. Much better. 2.
Are we actually moving this foot forward?
Yep. On 2, well, you bring this with you. On 2, you drop your heel and you let that drop, move you forward this way. 1, down, 2, 1, head back. A little shorter. Now drop your back heel, 2, let this go forward. 1, push, under. 2, drop forward. Not back. 1, 2, 1, 2. Those are good. When you started out, you were always reaching a little too far. Turn. You're going to have your right foot in front now. Turn your back foot in. Push down into your front leg. 1, down, 2, switch. 1, down, 2, switch. 1, down, 2, switch. 1, down. You're hitting down and coming up. Only down. 2, switch. Sorry. I know, great cause watching. 1, down, 2. That is so much better. Keep your head back a tiny bit. Keep going. 1. Wait in the front foot. Pull your back heel up a tiny bit, closer to you, like when you get up forward. 2, drop. 1, down. Not your head, not your head. 2, drop. 1, 2, you're a little too stretched out, too short. 1, 2. That's good. You throw the weight here, here, and here, and here. Just sits there. 1, 2. 1, 2. You get this underneath you just a little more. Push down to your front foot. 1. That was your head. No head. No head. 2. 1, 2. Nope. Now you got your back heel down, front heel up. 1, 2. 1, 2. Turn other way. Cindy, glad to see you. Since I just watched you, am I on the camera? Yes. Try not to have your knees apart at all this way. They both go forward that way towards the target. And then try not to arch your back. You want to keep this a little tighter. It's an interesting sensation here. You want the center of your body to go through your inner thigh this way, and then it switches. And then this way, and then it switches. There is no, I don't know, there's no wobble to it. Under, 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 under. It goes right through the middle of your bones. It's a really cool feeling. So, we're going to try it again with your left leg in front. Arms up. It'll help to think of pushing down from your stomach down to your front foot. 1, down, head back. 2, drop. Boom, leg going forward. 1, 2, be a little shorter. 1, your head. 2, 1, 2. Switch deep. It's better. Everybody's being more stable. So a big part of your goal is to always be stable, 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 not rock forward, rock back, rock forward. You don't want to be off balance, you don't want to be stuck. Push down through your front foot. 1, down, 2. 1, down, 2. Up. 1, down. I'll make this point in somebody's head. Chin. Point like have some body pressure to your elbow and out your fist. Doesn't have to be so much this way. It could be out your knuckles towards their chin. This one points at their tummy more. Yep. But because this is solid and the inner arms are just a little connected. 1, push. Lock your shoulders. 2. 1, under. 2. Better. 1. 2, that's 1,000 times better. 1, 2, that's really good. Turn your back knee forward even more. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so your legs are turned for a second to face this way. All right, so this was shifting forward, and it's a huge exaggeration. Shift, drive. Shift, drive. Everybody got better at being more stable, more down. And it is odd because this is a very restrictive drill. You don't get to move around, you don't wiggle your hips, but yet your legs have to be soft and pliable even though they're in just this one place. They can't be stiff. So when you started, there's a boom to it. It's more like a cushion, a shock absorber, a cushion that bends. Now we're going to go backwards. Okay, this is what I want you to do. You're going to start with your back heel up and all your weight on your front foot. Your center is going to reach backwards on 1, and you're going to drive your weight down into the floor. So that's 1. My inner thighs are together and this stops. And then on 2, you drop your weight to your front foot and tuck under slightly. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I will tell you what's different about this is everything has to stop when you go backwards. You cannot go 1 and let it bounce. It goes 1, stop, down, stop, directional. Your muscles aren't frozen, but they squeeze. 2, 1, 2. You kind of see it? Turn and fist that way. Put all your weight on your front foot, put up your back heel. Imagine that your center is reaching backwards. It's going to push you to drop your heel. 1. Now you drop your front heel and tuck this underneath. 2, like that little string that pulls. 1, 2, tuck. 1, 2. All your weight on your front foot, pick up your back heel. Tuck your hip underneath. 1, 2, tuck under. 1, 2. Socially distant dog. Look at this. Is that awesome? Huh? Put all your weight on your front foot. 2. No, that was it. Isn't that 2?
Yeah.
No, that's 1. Sorry. Okay, now you're going to slide backwards. 1, stop. That's perfect. 2, underneath your heel up. 1, stop. Oh! 2, suck it. 1, 2, that's better. Don't rotate. 1, 2, 1, 2, better. 1, you're coming up. 2, underneath. 1, drop. Down, down, down. 2, under. 1, down. Don't you feel the pop? 2, 1, down, down, bend, bend, bend. 2, 1, no. 2, 1. 2 step, bend, 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 bend. 2, 1, better. 2, 1, 2. That's much better. Check out your legs for a second. Turn face that way. So, the same rule sort of applies. I should be in front of the table. The same rules sort of apply. You want to keep your body straight. And for right now, leaning backwards a little bit is okay, because you're going to keep your structure going forwards or backwards. Don't lead with your head and then your butt, or your butt and then your head. Don't, either way, just nice and straight. So right now you have your right leg in front. Is that true? We haven't done the side yet because we're going backwards.
Okay.
Put all your weight on your front foot. Slide back and drop your back heel. 1, down. 2, stuck underneath. 1, down. 2, 1, down. 2, 1, down. 2, 1, down. 2. Stay, no hop. No hopping. 1, down. Down. Get your butt underneath. More under. 2 on your wet front foot. 1, down. This has to be forward. 2, 1, almost. 2, yes. 1, 2, 1. Put your back foot much more forward and no hopping. Just reach. 2, 1. Too much. 2, 1. All fine. two, one, almost, two, one, two, one, two. High up, shake your legs for a second. Grab a partner. Now you two, and you two. And keep far apart. So this is now going to be the movement drill we just did, plus sensitivity. So when we start, we're both like this. I gotta feel him move, but I'm gonna count first. But I gotta try to feel him move. And I'm gonna practice my footwork, he's gonna practice his. So he shifts forward, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. My inside, his inside, they're going to start to match. So it's true on the outside, but I want to start to feel what's happening on the inside. When's he going to move? When's he going to hit me? Okay, so at first you have to move, and then pretty soon you'll move when they move. But I do want to point this out. Can you go back here? Please void 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm always off. 1. I'm not learning my thing. Match him. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Exactly. Don't extra wiggle. Don't. Just move when they move. You're trying to learn to blend. And eventually you'll learn when he's open, when he's in kill, when he's stuck, when he's committed forward. When are you stuck? You'll find it. Here we go. Let's back up just a little bit. Left leg forward. Imagine, and I told Lauren this, but maybe not everybody else. Your inner thighs and your inner arms are related, and your center is shooting energy towards the target. Oh, your energy through your hands, through your legs. We're going to shift forward. We're going to shift backward. 1, up, 2, switch. 1, up, 2, switch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Switch feet. We're going to continue going that way. You guys are doing great. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Switch feet, going back the other way. You guys are going forward, you guys are going backwards. Get your legs bent, get your feet aligned, get your elbows in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Switch feet. I gotta say, that's awesome, you guys. Everybody's doing great. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. High up. Shake out your legs. Keep your same partner, but here's part 2. John, if you go here. So right now, I'm counting. He has a job, I have a job. It's easier to learn the mechanics. And I gotta say, you guys were awesome about matching and doing the right things. You could see when you went 1, I pressure, 2, switch. 1, pressure, 2, switch. It was awesome. Okay, that's a really cool thing to be able to do. The next step I want you to be able to do is to always think you're in charge. So I'm in charge. He can think he's in charge, but I'm in charge. And I'm gonna, oh, he moved, no, I don't want that. When he moves, I'm gonna pull him. 1, pull, 2, push. 1, pull, 2, push. 1, pull, 2, push. 1, pull, 2, push. Inside, I'm thinking. Now he goes backwards. I go 1, push, 2, pull. 1, push, 2, pull. 1, push. You should think the same thing. And then who's really in charge, you'll figure out as you get moving. So, do you see the difference? I don't want you to just mechanically, he's moving forward and I'm not, it's not like that. It's my advantage. Oh yeah, I want him there. I'm about to smack him one. Okay, so you're always orchestrating. Push. Sensei Nishiyama used to say you're the puppeteer. You're controlling them. And it was a big deal for him to say puppeteer because he could. He couldn't speak very good English and he had no teeth. So sometimes he tried to tell stories about a marionette, but he couldn't say marionette. So he tried to say hanging doll, but he couldn't say hanging doll either. So people heard hanging doll. Be like hanging doll. What? Swinging? No. He meant that your body's straight and your feet can move without messing with you. Oh. And that'll be like part 3 or 4 of this particular drill, is you keep this pressure, but now you don't have to match feet. I can do whatever I want as long as I can feel that pressure and vulnerability in my opponent. So there's like, I'd say 5, 6, 7 steps to this little progression, but we're only going to do like 2, and then we'll do something fun with this leg motion. So, you're pushing, you're pulling. Ready? I'll count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Switch feet. 1, push. 2, 1, pull. 2, 1. This is out too far. Forward by him. 2, underneath. It's way out too far. Under. Squeeze your rotate. 1. Better. Now see. 2. 1. 2. 1. 2. 1. 2. 1. 2. Switch feet. Other way. Going back this way. Ready? 1. 2. 1. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A little too jerky on the 1. Switch feet. Smoother, softer, even though it's precise. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Don't rotate on 2. 1, stay sideways. 2, underneath, under. 1, 2, and reverse. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hurry up, shake out your legs. Switch feet. This time without the count. Yufeng, you're in charge. John, you're in charge. You push, and then you pull. Switch feet anytime you want to. So you're going to go all the way down and all the way back, and then you're in charge. Pulling all the way down and all the way back. And then I'll change the rules. Okay? So your job, he's in charge for him. You have to match him exactly. Go.
Do you want us breaking the rhythm or just a steady?
Pretty steady. You can change it a little bit, but not tricky. Just a little bit every once in a while. it down if you want, sorry. Didn't need to tell you what to do. That's really good, Maria. See how tiring this is for your legs? It's great, isn't it?
Keep going.
Sure. Okay, I am it. Okay, now John's in charge and Yufeng's in charge. But you can go forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and forwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. You can change any rhythm you want. You can switch your feet whenever you want. You have to count. Okay? So not just down there and then back. You can go in a circle as long as you're copying each other. So, like this, John. So, John's in charge. That's copy. Not so fast, is it? Boom. So I still want you to feel your feet. But when it goes faster, your feet are not as matched. The rhythm, all they do is match his body motion. So slow. He's in charge. I have to match him. There he goes. See, he switched direction. I have to go with him. So it's a mistake. Do like two and then one back. If I go, here he comes. Oh God. Now I'm super vulnerable. And just as a rule for this training, he moves once, I move once. It's not always a rule. So what I don't want you to do is he moves once and I go, I'm not catching his rhythm ever, right? So maybe he's gaining on me because and he's like, oh God, that's too low. Don't do that. Just make a bigger shift next time. Or change directions. But just, you'll start to feel when this distance is and when you can't move and when you can. So, you see what to do? Great. Go forwards, backwards, either foot, switch, whatever you want. You're in charge, you're in charge. Match them. So, when you do switch directions, please do it just a little, John, a little slower. Give them a chance to figure out you're going forwards and backwards. So eventually, for your training, your job is to not let them feel when you're switching and moving. But right now you're trying to learn. So take your time, switching directions, let everybody kind of work together, but still you're in charge. A few more. Switch. Lauren's in charge. Mike's in charge. Go. Mike, where's your back leg? Why is it out like that? Look. No. Yes. Keep turning your back foot in. Too much air. Your butt's up. Keep forward pressure. Keep going backwards. Hi, man. Lauren and Mike switch places. So this is exhausting, and kind of thing you do for 2 hours if you actually want to learn to spar. And you get really, really good at it. So you don't have to think about it all the time. So I mean, so that's kind of why you go through stages, right? You don't have to worry about this part anymore because I'm doing this. And the problem with modern day stuff is they don't learn how to move. They're just going to learn to spar. But then you're only dealing with part of the tools. You don't understand distance, timing, breathing, position. You just know about kicking and punching. So where this eventually goes for sparring, for a second, is that in modern day things, he punches or kicks, and you just figure you're going to be exchanging blows. That's not how it works. He gets to move around and kick and punch, and I'm waiting for my time. When is he vulnerable, and when can I catch him? So he was in between steps. Maybe he could have gotten me, I don't know. But you get to learn when somebody's open and when they're not, when can you catch them. And the distance will start to become very automatic, and it's like the most important part. And it's the part that people nowadays they don't pay much attention to. I didn't learn to move, I didn't generate any power, my timing was terrible. So it's a different art, a different set of study, even though it looks kind of similar to people who don't know the difference. There was a thing. Somebody said, why does it matter once? And hopefully it matters. Can you come back over here again? Sorry, you're the only one I can think of. Let's say he's standing there, got your left leg in front a little bit, and he's hopping up and down, and you don't want me to hit you. Every time he's up, I can hit him. Because I know he's coming up. So then he gets further away, he's hopping, he thinks I can't get him. Maybe I can, right? Depends on how good you are at it. So you see people hopping, whoa, and they launch themselves across the room. Sometimes very impressively. But this guy did a demonstration. So it matters because you're vulnerable when you hop. Can you stand up, put your hand up? Big pressure down, and then hit your fist. Boom, wrong, boom, excellent. Boom, you can see his body, you take it. Hop. Stop. Come on, you take it. But you can't, your system's not ready. So the point is, even if I hop across there, what power is there to that? With few exceptions, you'll see people who do like a Superman punch, who get really good at driving through the target. But most of the time, it's and so we wouldn't count that. You're not settled, you're not down, you're not driving through the target. There's no commitment. Anyway, back over there. Now you have a different person. It is different to have different people. You, Fung and John, you're in charge. Move anywhere you want to go. Legs turn your back foot in. Stay down, underneath, don't hop up. Down, good. Better. Keep your head back. Don't make your tummy strong. Push them, push them. Right, that's much better. Hey, body partner, thank you. Spread around any kata you want, your kata. Out. That's it. And he does one. Boy. Can you go up there? Thank you. Half speed is fine. Right. Either open hand or closed hand, and your hands have to stay the same distance apart. Nah. So if you're doing hand, you're down. Drop them and lift them. Open hands. Yep, that's way better. Push your hip, Mike, on the second punch. More twist. The second punch is not done yet. 3 hands back here. See? See? Relax your shoulder. Twist your hip. Maybe you're up. You're back. Down. Down. Ooh, better. Better. Ooh. So it's just a little change, right?
You can see that.
Oh my God. That's you. Wait till I make you fix the little stuff. How did yours go? You did this too high. Down there. Yep, like a block kind of.
Sorry.
That's all right.
This
Then
hand,
what?
this hand was too high. Was this hand too high?
Nope, that hand was okay. Hi, man. Well, there you go. Good job. So this footwork thing has to do with vulnerabilities, timing, when people can move. And I wanted to show you this. It's hard for most people to see. If we train, and I'm going to shift forward, I'm attacking. Our feet are going to move the same. My front foot, his back foot. 1, 2. They match. Sorry. 1, 2. You see our rhythm's the same? Gotta come up. 1, 2. And I can't change that unless I get the jump on them or fake them or something. But I can change how my feet move. Instead of this foot, 1, 2. I'm going to pretend and go 1, 2. And my hand hit before his back foot hits. Boom, boom. And Nishiyama would demonstrate that over and over again. And I don't think most people saw it. But if you worked at the footwork long enough, you started to see, oh, there's a way to set stuff up, just in general, where I can do little motions that screw him up. And what tends to happen in sparring, especially in competitive sparring, is you figure out the strategy that works for you, and you keep doing that till you get better at it. So some people are fantastic at timing. Some people are fantastic at gono-sen. Some people are, I don't know, combinations. They 1, 2, whoa, and they'll catch the guy every time. So it is a good idea to find your strength and work at it. And then figure out where's your weaknesses. Why am I getting hit here? Why did I get caught? Why can't I move? So generally speaking, there is a perception that Shotokan is strong and driving and powerful, which it is. But what people miss is the finesse, the moving your feet, moving your body. And in the different schools, the different fashions of Shotokan, you used to see some people come out and they like float. And you're like, that guy can't. Whoa! You just explode. Oh, and catch somebody. It was really cool. Because we were used to, something different. And other people move like robots, they're very strong, they can't shift. So, and what works for some people doesn't work for others. It's cool though, I like the lightness. So eventually, like when I pushed on your arm, you come over everything. On the outside you can see, he pushes it, yeah, oh, I got it, right? But sometimes you're just standing there, and he pushes, and you still got it. You just need it on the inside. You would think this wouldn't work. He's got a stance. I don't. He should win. Like that. Right? I'm going to change it. Up. He's not cheating. Where's the other? So then it's a game of timing. Who's set, who's not set. Anyway, you're back one last time. This time in good spirit, good energy. Out. Down. What? Done well, keep your head up. You're drawing on first, your back leg first. Oh, that's better. That's ready to go. Oh, it's way better. Look this way. All right, line up. Thank you all for training. Germany, right? Up, we got it, right? Bye, Zoom people. All right, see you all Monday, I hope. Good training, thanks. Thank you.